A diaphragm is a shallow, dome-shaped cup with a soft and flexible rim that is coated with a spermicide and placed deep into the vagina and over the cervix before having sex. While in place, it creates a physical barrier that prevents sperm from entering the uterus. In addition, the spermicide immobilizes any sperm that comes near the cervix. Before using a diaphragm, your healthcare provider can advise you on the correct size to use. To ensure the highest level of effectiveness, a diaphragm should be used in every sexual act. It is 83% effective with common use and 84% effective with perfect use. You can insert a diaphragm right before sex or a few hours before, but you should not leave it in for more than 24 hours. If you have sex more than once within this time, you will need to add more spermicide if more than 6 hours have passed since the last sexual act. After sex, you will need to leave the diaphragm in place for at least 6 hours to ensure optimum protection. The insertion process is similar to that of a tampon. Firstly, thoroughly clean and dry your hands. Then, inspect the diaphragm for holes or leaks. Once you have confirmed that it is not defective, measure 5 milliliters of spermicide and apply it onto the inner surface of the diaphragm and a little onto the rim. In a sitting or standing position, spread your legs and separate the outer lips of your vagina. With one hand, then push the diaphragm as far up into your vagina as you can, until the cervix is covered. If it is placed correctly, you should be able to feel your cervix through the diaphragm. If you feel uncomfortable after insertion, it may not be correctly placed, and you should try reinserting it. The spermicide will be most effective if it stays on the inner surface of the cap during insertion. The removal process is easy. Put your index finger into your vagina and hook it on the rim of the diaphragm, and then gently pull it out. Wash the diaphragm with mild soap and warm water, and let it air dry in a cool and dry place, away from direct sunlight. With proper use, a single diaphragm can last for 1 to 2 years. If you notice a break or tear in the diaphragm, or you observe that the diaphragm may have moved out of place during sex, you should take an emergency contraceptive as soon as possible, but within 120 hours to prevent pregnancy. The diaphragm is hormone-free, so you can use this method safely while breastfeeding, or if you are not eligible to use a hormonal contraceptive. Since you can insert it at any time before sex, you are in control of your contraception, and it is pretty convenient in the heat of the moment. It reduces the risk of pelvic inflammatory disease and may protect you from STIs such as gonorrhea, trichomoniasis, and chlamydia. Since it covers the cervix, it prevents contact between semen and the cervix, which potentially reduces the risk of cervical cancer. On the downside, it is not a good option if you feel uneasy about putting your fingers into your vagina, or if you are allergic to silicone or spermicide. It is also a high-effort method that requires prior planning and self-discipline. A diaphragm will not prevent STI transmission, so if you are at risk of contracting or transmitting an infection, you should use a condom for protection. Learn more about the diaphragm and other contraceptive methods by visiting findmymethod.org.